This is Blue River Living, born of Marcelejos Master Plan, the proposal that we made for the Zingaven Architecture Setting Contest Edition 2023. The designers are Sofia and Manuela from the third semester of the Faculty of Architecture of the Universidad La Gran Colombia. The order that we will be following today is with 5 chapters, having the first that is about. The second one is Building A, the proposal of the recycled building. The third one is going to be building B. The fourth one is going to be building C. And the fifth one, the last one, is going to be building 5. The first thing is the about. Now we start with the first chapter where we have an introductory part, what is most important for us to review the history of Lisbon and traditional Portuguese architecture for the development of the proposal, and contemplates with taking the classic concept of architecture, assimilating them in a more modern way. Then we have the location where we are located at Lisbon, Portugal, in the Boa Vista sector, close to the elevated Davica, Jardim Dom Luis, and the Tagus River. Subsequently, we have the summary of the analysis carried out in 4 aspects: the physical one, the road systems, the environmental, and the architectural component, where it was defined that we are in a strategic location due to the ease of accessibility by the systems that are available, as thus is metro, train, etc. In the same way, it is observed that in the sector the use are varied, where housing and commerce predominate, having the possibility of potentiating them. Here we have some elevation profiles of the roads where we see how the road structure behaves, as well as the area of intervention with the main roads and the connecting pathways. Here we start now with our concept that is a window to the traditional, where we see that Blue River Living becomes an icon that offers visual towards the historical part of Lisbon, as well as towards the modern plans from its gaps, also providing a predominant visual towards Tagus River. The other concept applied in this case is the modulation. This is applied in 3 stages of Lisbon after generating a modulation with the mesh proposed in where certain points of are finally select to then pass to stage number 3, that is empty info, where we select mesh areas that are eliminated to generate voids that propose new dynamics and gives us some new visuals on the building. This is our master plan that is called Marcelejos, where we have the requirements of the contest. This is building A, that is a resulting building. We have determined spaces for the new Video Library Commission of Lisbon. Then we have building B, that is gonna be a totally new one, and the G floor we need some commerce and services and apartments in the upper floors. We have then building C, where we develop the public space where the are large green and rest areas. So our second chapter is about building A, which is the Lisbon Video Library. Then we have the sunning, where we have the film and exhibition and coffee area that are supposed to be on the first floor. On the second floor, we have the warehouse, the viewing and audiovisual area, and at the third floor, we have the administrative area. For this proposal, it was important to preserve the circulation fixed points and bathrooms. Their two fixed points are one private and the other one is going to be public. This is our proposal of floors, where above we have the current floor and below we have the preliminary proposal. On this floor, there are areas such as exhibitions rooms, stores, digital rooms. At the second floor, we have the visionary room, auditorium, sound studio, etc. And at the third floor, we have the storage, food room, rogue, and restoration room. This is a project view of what will be the interior of the auditorium. Now we have our chapter 3 that is going to be about building B. So Blue River Liver is a new housing building for artists and students. Here we see the application of the concept where initially we have a parallelepiped that is extruded, to which the mesh is applied to obtain the spaces that will be eliminated and become voids. Here we can see the design process where initially we have a solid parallelepiped, later is going to be extruded and divided, then we select spaces that will be empty. In our step number 4, we extract these parts of the volume, and in our final step, we generate a strategy to the assimilated volume from the topography of the place. These are our implantation criterias where we have the topography and the visual, where the shape is straight according to the topography of the city. So we can see how it is reduced until it reaches the lowest point that will be the place of the intervention. Likewise, the visuals in the implementation are important because the main concept of the building is to have the best use. This is accompanied by the fact that the structuring allows us to have a very visual feel. Then we have an important design criterion, that is the use of the color, where we analyze the tones of the classic Lisbox package to place them on our new package. And also we analyze the user so we can have the usage of color. In this case, the setting of the building has commerce and service on its G floor, and on the above floors we have housing, and at the 7th floor we're gonna have a rooftop. This is the preliminary proposal for building first and second. That is going to be at the left. We have apartments of 1 and 2 bedrooms. Also, we have social areas and yoga spaces. We have the second type floor that is going to be located at floors number 3 and number 4, where we have the co-living houses. We have apartments with a capacity of 8 people. We have also social areas such as kitchens and bathrooms. We have here the proposal for the 5th and 6th floor at the left part, where we have one similar to the first and second one. We have apartments of 1 and 2 bedrooms. We have reading areas and social areas. And at the one that is at the right, that is going to be the second floor, we have the ateliers, and we're going to have the rooftop. This is the longitudinal section where we see the behavior between the levels. So this is the first type of apartment that has an area of 34.82 square meters, where we have 2 bedrooms, living room, kitchen, bathroom, and a storage. This is the project view of the interior of the apartment. This is the second kind of apartment. It's gonna be a co-living. It has a capacity for 8 people, and it has an area of 35 square meters. We have social areas such as kitchens, bathrooms. This is the project view of the interior of this apartment. Here we have the last proposal of apartments. It is just for one person, so we have 1 bedroom, one bathroom, 1 living room, a kitchen, and a storage room. This will be the project view. We have here the social areas in the towers that we have, signing by color. Those are the working spaces. And here we have the rooftop of the building. The use of materials on this facade is carried out with Sangorin suppliers looking for sustainable materials that have the highest efficiency and allow the use of sunlight. In this facade cut, you can see the behavior of the materials in the details, where there are sliding panels to allow or not the entry of the sun according to the time of year. The structure part, we have a metallic structure that contributes to the sustainability of the building. This is a metallic structure that has 80% of it that is the recycled material. We can also see the details that we have here. The first chapter is going to be about building C, that corresponds to the development of the public space complementary to your buildings. This is the general plan of the public space. For the development of the public space, it was important to take into account spaces to roads accompanied by green areas, commercial modules, and sharing and integration areas. These are some details of what can be found in the public space. The furniture is designed focused on the users and their dynamics. Then we can see a projection of how the gastronomic corridor will work and will look. Then there is a proposal for trees for the space. There are native European species that generate sustainability for the city. We have species such as the European hazelnut and oak, and this is accompanied by this tree location plan. We also find the axonometric risk of the project. This one is the one that is the gastronomic corridor. Then we have the transition area between the building A and building B, where we have the resting swings. Finally, we have the kids playground area that is going to be in the back part of building B because of security terms. Here we have the materiality of the public space, where it was important for us to seek to use for low impact and safe and some recycled materials for the development of the proposal. Now we have reached our final chapter, which is the climatic study. where we determine it according to the one click by LZA platform that we have a pilot consumption of 155 kilos of CO2 per square meter in the cradle to grave stage. And in terms of sustainability, we have a sustainable model of living known as co-living in social sustainability. On the part of environmental sustainability, we implement various native species of the area and the use of low impact materials in with some of the recycled components. We also implement piezoelectric useful for generating energy, and in economic sustainability, we have a rooftop in building B from which the income will be used to sustain the building. This is all the information that we have at this time to provide you about our project that we made and present for the Architecture Studying Contest of Saint Gobain edition 2023.